Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-dun-dun. Welcome back, my friends. It's been a long time, 3 months. I hope you're all doing fandiddly-tastic. It's been a long journey for me, a few months of surgeries and whatnot, and we'll talk about it in more videos. But I just wanted to hop on here and give everyone motivation wherever you are in the healing journey. It is not linear. You know, it's not going to be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 years for every single person. It's different. And there's going to be hiccups along the way. And I've learned that very well. I thought, when I got over the narcissist in my last toxic relationship at like the 6-month mark, I'm like, oh, it's going to be smooth sailing all the way up to the clouds. Nope. It was good for a little while. Then I had another little, I don't want to say relapse, but just kind of felt down about myself, anxiety, a little bit of depression. Then guess what? I popped right out of it and rode the wave again. And the healing journey is going to be ups and downs. So, wherever you are in the journey, if it's been 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, life's a roller coaster. You just got to go with it and accept it. And I think when you learn to let go of that, it's going to be much, much easier and pleasant in your life experience. So, in this couple months where I had a lot of time to reflect and I had a few spiritual awakenings over this past 2.5, 3 years on my journey, this last one was really insightful for me because after I went through my last surgery, I was in a real dark place for a while, like bedridden. Wasn't going to the gym, lost so much weight. I got down to 168 pounds, which is less than what I weighed in high school. That's actually what I weighed in middle school. So I'm 36 years old. To weigh that, it was just absolutely horrendous. I was malnourished. I wasn't eating anything. I barely even wanted to drink water. It was that bad. And I believe that these things happen for us, though, not to us. As I remind you guys about this tattoo I have, everything happens for you, not to you. And, when I got in my downward spiral, I was having suicidal thoughts. Like it was bad. And I'm like, why am I thinking these negative, dark, depressing things? This is not me. And what I came to realize was it was all happening for me, not to me. It was just a means to an end, to make me better, to make me stronger. And I've said this many times in many videos, just like going to the gym, no pain, no gain. Like the more you put into something, the more difficult it is, the harder, the more pain, the more suffering, the more beautiful the outcome is. If we were all just born significantly happy forever, right? It would be a pretty boring life, a pretty boring existence. Just like there's equal opposites to everything in this world: hot, cold, winter, summer, night, day, sun, moon, the list goes on. Flip a coin, heads, tails. There's always an opposite. If we were just happy all the time, life would be bleak. The suffering and the pain makes everything worth it. And once we learn to master our mindset, that's when it becomes easy. Because when you master your mind, you can master your reactions to situations. When you can have an optimistic outlook on life, when a negative thing happens, that is true power. And it took me years. Just recently, I've worked on that and achieved it. It's a very difficult thing. Today I was opening up a box and I was in a great mood, had a great day, great breakfast, things were going well. I was opening up a box and it was very sharp cardboard and my knife slipped and I sliced my finger open. And the pain and the shock hit me right there and I was just like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And normally I would have freaking lost my mind through the knife, but I've mastered my reactions to negative situations. When you get to that level, that is when you're going to, I guess, quantum jump, which I'll talk about in another video. That's a whole nother topic, but you're going to quantum jump. You are essentially raising your vibration, raising your frequency, and hopping onto a new timeline, a new version of yourself. And in the journey, There's going to be multiple versions of you, a better version, and you're going to keep hopping up the timeline. And as you master your mind and you master your emotions, then things won't faze you. And I've talked about this when, you are with the narcissist, they rely on your emotional reactions. That's their fuel. So when you learn to master that, people will not be able to affect you. You are going to be in your own world. And that's what I want for everyone, is to create your own world. Yes, we live on Earth, but as soon as you make this quantum leap, this shift to a new reality, everyone else's world will not affect your world. I remember I was in the gym yesterday, and there's this guy, this big, big muscular guy, and he's got like a backwards flat brim hat, and he looks like the typical Jersey Shore kind of guy. And he's very alpha in his energy, and I'm so like carefree and chill. And there's moments where I'll hop into my ego because I'm connecting my world to his world, because I notice him looking over at me constantly, and he's sending me that energy. And I'll start to get like egotistical. I'm like, psh, whatever, buddy. I'm way leaner than you are. Like, I'll start thinking those kinds of thoughts. And I'm like, wait a second. And I take a step back and I'm like, why am I thinking these thoughts? And I'm like, I'm energetically connecting to this other person's world. Why am I carrying? There's judgments going on. There's opinions being thrown back and forth. And again, this is all in an energetic spectrum, not verbally saying out loud. But when you have the self-awareness and you recognize these things in everyday situations and communication between others, you're going to realize that no one can affect you in your world, because it's your world. You create it. Our inner reality mirrors our outer reality. So when you take that step back and you have this, you practice self-awareness and you recognize these situations for what they are, you let go of the situation completely. You pull back your energy, you're in your own world, and you have complete peace and bliss. And that's one of the things I learned in this past few months. And it took a lot of practice, a lot of meditation, a lot of spiritual work, a lot of self-awareness, self-talk. And it's a complete game changer, because as soon as you are able to keep your energy in your own world and not let anyone else's world affect you, and you can master your reactions to negative outcomes, everything changes. You are hopping onto a very high timeline, a new reality, and everything just seems to flow. And I could look at it too as it's the universe, God, source, whatever you want to name it, testing you, saying, hey, have you really changed? Are you really this new version? Let's test it. Let's throw a negative situation in there. Do you overreact? Are you critical? Do you start going into negative self-talk? Or do you let it affect you for 1 second and you're good? You're optimistic still. You're like, nah, that happened. Okay, let's move on. And when you do this more, the mind is a muscle, just like any other muscle. When you practice and you use this muscle over and over and over again, it's going to get strong. It's going to get super resilient. It's going to become part of your new subconscious programming. When it becomes part of your new subconscious programming, you're going to take on an optimistic stance in life with everything. You're not going to be pessimistic. You get a flat tire. Oh, well, I guess it means I got to get 4 new tires, and I've been waiting to get new tires for a long time. You look at the best outcome, not the worst. When you have that energetic shift, everything changes. If you want to be abundant in life, if you want to have financial freedom, if you are optimistic in every single situation when negativity occurs in your life, you are naturally going to manifest all the things you want in life. Optimism is for winners. Optimism is for leaders. You want to be an entrepreneur? Have an optimistic mindset. When all those negative things happen, you lose money and you're still optimistic, you're going to gain it right back. You're going to gain it and then 10 times the amount. So it's important on this journey, whether you're in the self-healing journey because of a toxic relationship or because you've gone through some sort of trauma or whatever it is, just know that you're constantly going to be tested. It never ends. Just like in a relationship, you're going to always be tested. It's important that you look at these tests as a good thing, because the universe wants us all to do well. God wants us all to do well. And the only way to know if you're truly changing and becoming the best version of yourself is to get tested. And what happens in school when you get tested? If you fail, you repeat the grade. You will keep repeating the same lesson over and over and over again in this lifetime, in the next lifetime, in the 10 lifetimes after, if you don't learn the lesson, because the lesson is painful. And as human beings, we go away from pain. We go towards pleasure. So the more pain we can endure, the more suffering we can endure, and we can learn the lesson, the faster we're going to achieve our dream life. All right, guys. So I think that concludes it for today. Just a quick short video. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'm going to be back on with regular videos, and I'm also starting a podcast. It will be out next week. It's called JT and Jane, No Filter. And we talk about everything nitty gritty, everything spirituality, self-help, supplements, everything that can make you the best version of yourself. We'll be doing 2 podcasts a week. I'll put the link down in the bio, and I look forward to seeing you all there. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and stay safe.